Is your boat no longer looking its best? Well, in this video, we're going to take you through on how exactly we make this Freeman look better than the day it was new. All right, so we have this 34-foot Freeman ran by Captain Tanner Eisen from Real Deal Fishing Company in Southwest Florida. This is a fairly new Freeman, but however, it's ran pretty hard as it's, used for offshore charter fishing more than 200 trips out of the year. And as we all know, that can definitely wear down the luster and the way the boat looks. So he ended up coming to us directly and wanted to learn on how to restore that shine on his 34-foot Freeman. So here you can see I'm literally taking them through on the process of what it's going to take to get the boat exactly back to better than new. I went ahead and applied our new heavy cut compound, which is Blaze, here on a white wool pad on a rotary. Basically what you want to do is spread it around as you see here. I'm adjusting the speed to about 1,000 RPMs to start it off with. And after each pass, I'm going to continue to step up my speed until I'm finishing at about 2,000 RPMs. What I'm going to do is I'm explaining to him right here that you want to kind of have a slight lean to remove that oxidation. And this is the hand speed that you want to use. You don't want to be swinging back and forth, rather rapidly. You're going to, not get the results that you're looking for. So out of a pressure scale out of say 1 to 10, I'm probably pushing at about a 7 right here. And you can already see that the gloss is really starting to enhance. And before you ever attempt anything like this, you want to go around and make sure you tape off any areas that could get damaged while you're doing the compound and polishing stage. You can see that we went around and taped off all the cushions around the speakers and items and areas that you might bump into. And some of you might say this boat looks good, but here is a side-by-side difference of after one heavy cut stage with Blaze. Look how much better that gel coat looks. Super glossy compared to right here before we even started working on it. Now, since we had the process put in place, we're going to go through and literally heavy cut compound the entire boat first. You can get into small tight areas using like a 3-inch machine like this that you see Mitz is using right here. This is really the most efficient way to really get into those tight corners. If you see, we're using a Lake Country 3-inch wool pad with the Lake Country extension here that helps you really get in those real tight areas that seem to be really difficult, but he's doing a great job here. Now he's moving along the edge of the boat here, as well as all the little intricate areas that you can see throughout the boat. After that stage is completely done and you're satisfied with the results that you got, then that's when you start moving into the polishing stages. So the polish that we chose to use was Stark's Finish R. It was best paired with a purple haze pad, as you can see here, while I'm priming the pad. Priming is real important, that way you get the most efficient cut off a fresh pad. And then generally after you prime it, I only use about 4 dots. But right here I'm priming it, just letting it do it like what we call a burnout for about 10 seconds. Then again, I'll go and set the machine, put about 4 dots on the pad, and do up and down, side to side, and then up and down again, or vice versa. Your pressure is going to be about maybe 3 to 5, and you can see this is the arm speed that you want to use. Feel free to use any type of dual action polisher to get this stage done, as the dual action itself is going to remove the rotary swirls that you get from the heavy cut stage. You should always generally follow up with a dual action polisher anytime after you're using a rotary. We really don't suggest finishing out a surface with a rotary, as it could really leave some inconsistent patterns and scratches behind. Tanner's finishing the boat out here with an LHR 21 Mark V by Rupes, one of our most favorite machines that we use to be able to correct out gel coat, especially pairing with the purple haze pad. And then the Lake Country pad washer is just a complete game changer at keeping those pads fresh. So we're here just evaluating how the surface is coming out. It's looking good. So we went ahead and continued on. You can see that Tanner now took over and using 4 dots, just like we spoke about earlier, hitting underneath the top side of this T-top. And I'll tell you what about these Freemans. The T-top is just so huge. It's like almost like polishing an entire another boat. So we're just going to make our way around and make sure we get the entire boat. You can see the surface is looking amazing here. And we're just finishing up all the little small intricate pieces before we move on to adding the protection. So with a quick little inspection, we like the result that we got. It's time to move on to the coating. Here we're going to use surface prep first. This is a critical item that you use before any ceramic coating like liquid Kraken you see here. Essentially what it is an isopropyl alcohol mixture that you're going to go through and wipe down the entire boat with before you lay your coating. That way it bonds properly. You hit every single area. I like just using a regular standard microfiber towel that you see Tanner using here, just to remove any impurities that are left behind. Now it's time to lay down the sauce. We're here priming the pad with Kraken. We're using auto fiber applicators. They have the plastic liner that doesn't allow the coating to soak into the foam. And simply what you're going to do is apply it to every surface that you want protected. We like to do a little bit up, down, and side to side if applicable, but here you can see on this T-top we kind of got to work around certain spots. Once you apply it, the beauty of Kraken is when it is time for it to level, essentially to come back and kind of wipe off the excess on the surface, it's going to sweat. And what I mean by sweat, it's going to kind of have like this bubbly type of texture, really similar to those of you that have been around a while, of corduroy jeans is the best way that I like to describe it. And once it gets to that point, you simply just want to wipe it off. I want to emphasize that you bring plenty of microfiber towels, and you saw there Tanner wiped with one side of the towel, flipped it over, and wiped that same area again, which we like to call the insurance wipe. You don't want to leave behind any high spots, which high spots are coating that has been left behind. If you do get that, then in some cases it can be requiring polishing to remove. But one thing I really want to emphasize that you can see here too is actually using rubber gloves. Rubber gloves, y'all, is extremely important when you're using ceramic coatings. Okay, there's caustic chemicals that are inside of it to help build that great protection. However, when you're using it, your skin will absorb that. So again, do the right thing, use gloves. So we're going to go through and finish this entire boat. But I do want to emphasize that when you're doing a boat with a gel coated surface, it's highly recommended to do 2 coats just because the gel coat is so porous. And with Kraken, it's the only one that we would suggest you to really give it about 6 hours in between coats. And the beauty of Kraken as well is you can put it on just about any surface on your boat. You see here that Tanner's now applying it to the engine cowlings, which will leave the ultimate protection for them. It'll protect these, and as you know, like engine cowlings, it's not gel coat. This is base coat, clear coat, just like car paint. The process is simply the same though. You're still going to do a surface prep wipe right before you go and lay on the coating. All right, so once it's applied, you want to give it 24 hours before you put your boat back in the water to give it the best chance to fully cure. And truthfully, it could take upwards of a week to cure completely before you'll see the full effect of gloss and its overall hydrophobicity. So, try to prevent from using any type of boat cleaning chemicals or anything like that, or before you're doing an abrasion wash. The best bet, or a good rule of thumb, is to give it at least 5 to 7 days before doing that. And make sure you're using pH neutral soaps to maintain it. Keep away from Dawn, bleach, or any caustic type of other chemicals.